Many older adults think cold feet, numbness, or heavy legs are just a normal part of getting older. But the scary part is that sometimes it is not aging at all. It is a sign that blood may no longer be flowing properly to your legs. After age 60, nearly 1 in 3 people begin to develop circulation problems in their legs. But most people do not notice it until walking becomes harder, until they have to stop halfway because of calf pain, until they feel dizzy when standing up, or until nighttime leg cramps keep waking them up. The dangerous thing is that poor circulation usually does not happen overnight. It develops very quietly. At first, your feet may just feel colder than usual. Then you may notice mild numbness in your feet. Gradually, your legs start to feel heavier, your walking slows down, and your balance becomes less steady. And when blood cannot reach your legs properly, it often is not reaching your heart and brain the way your body needs either. Many people try to improve circulation with medication, compression socks, or complicated exercises. But what very few people realize is that one of the biggest causes may be sitting right in their kitchen. The oil you use every day could be helping your blood vessels stay healthier, or it could be quietly making them stiffer, more inflamed, and narrower over time. And, surprisingly, more and more older adults are switching to one special oil that not only helps reduce inflammation, but may also support better blood flow, help your legs feel lighter, warmer, and easier to move within just a few weeks. What is interesting is that it is not coconut oil, and it is not the vegetable oil most people still believe is good for the heart. Stay with me until the end of this video, because the oil at the top of today's list may be exactly what your legs need right now. One of the biggest reasons circulation in the legs becomes worse after age 60 is because our blood vessels are no longer as flexible as they used to be. When we are younger, the walls of our blood vessels are softer, more elastic, and able to expand and contract easily to move blood down to the legs and back to the heart. But over time, especially as we age, those vessel walls begin to get stiffer, narrower, and slower to respond. This causes blood flow to slow down, especially in areas farther away from the heart, like the feet and lower legs. That is why many older adults often notice cold feet even when the weather is not cold, heavier legs at the end of the day, or aching legs after walking only a short distance. But aging is not the only reason. There are other factors that can make this process happen much faster. High cholesterol can cause plaque to build up inside the arteries. High blood sugar can damage the inner lining of the blood vessels. High blood pressure puts extra stress on the vessel walls every single day. And long-term inflammation in the body acts like a slow-burning fire that weakens blood vessels over time. When these factors come together, blood has a harder time moving through the body, and your legs are often one of the first places to feel it. If you sit a lot, move very little, or spend long periods lying down, the problem can become even worse. The muscles in your legs act like a natural pump that helps move blood back to the heart, but when your legs are not moving enough, blood can start to pool in the lower part of the body. That is why many people notice mild swelling, heaviness, or more discomfort in their legs by the evening. And sadly, many people just think, "I'm getting older. This is normal." No, it is not normal. It is a sign that your circulation needs support before the problem becomes more serious. What makes poor circulation dangerous is that it usually begins with very small signs. Many people ignore them for months, even years, because they assume they are just a normal part of getting older. One of the most common early signs is unusually cold feet. You may be sitting in a warm room, everyone around you feels fine, but your feet still feel cold. That often happens when blood is no longer bringing enough warmth and oxygen down to your legs. Another sign is numbness, tingling, or a pins and needles feeling in your feet and toes. At first, it may only last for a few minutes and then go away. But over time, it can start happening more often, especially after sitting too long or lying down at night. Many people also notice that their legs feel heavier by the end of the day. They cannot understand why walking only a short distance leaves their legs tired, their calves tight, or makes them feel like they are carrying extra weight. That is not just fatigue. It may be a sign that blood is having a harder time flowing back from your legs to your heart. Nighttime leg cramps are also very common. If your calf muscles often tighten up while you are sleeping and you have to wake up to rub them or walk around for a few minutes to feel better, there is a good chance the circulation in your legs is not as strong as it used to be. Another sign that surprises many people is when small cuts, scrapes, or bug bites on the legs take longer than usual to heal. When blood flow is poor, the body has a harder time delivering oxygen, nutrients, and healing cells to damaged skin. And what is concerning is that these signs rarely show up alone. They usually come together. Cold feet, numbness, leg cramps, slower walking, legs that get tired more quickly. Dizziness when standing up. If you are experiencing 2 or more of these signs, it is not something you should ignore anymore. It is your body trying to tell you that your circulation needs attention now, before it starts affecting your ability to walk, your balance, and your independence every day. Unfortunately, many people are making their circulation worse every day without even realizing it. And most of those mistakes begin right in the kitchen. One of the most common problems is reusing cooking oil over and over again. Many families save leftover frying oil and use it again the next day. But when oil is heated repeatedly, its structure changes. It creates more oxidized compounds and inflammatory substances that can damage blood vessels over time. The dangerous part is that this damage does not happen overnight. It builds up quietly, day after day. Another common mistake is relying too heavily on packaged foods, fast food, or processed meals. These foods are often loaded with refined oils, salt, sugar, and preservatives. They cause the body to hold on to more fluid, raise blood pressure, and place extra strain on the blood vessels. Many people also believe that if something is labeled vegetable oil, it must be good for the heart. But not all vegetable oils are the same. Some industrial oils are heavily processed, bleached, deodorized, and refined at high temperatures. That process removes most of the beneficial nutrients and leaves behind fats that are more likely to promote inflammation. Beyond food, another very common mistake is sitting too much. Sitting for hours watching TV, reading, riding in the car, or lying down most of the day means the muscles in your legs are barely working. When that happens, blood can begin to pool in the legs and circulation slows down. That is why many people notice heavier legs by the evening or mild swelling around the ankles. Not drinking enough water is another major issue. When the body is dehydrated, the blood becomes thicker and harder to move. That forces the heart to work harder to push blood throughout the body. And sometimes, even a small habit like wearing shoes that are too tight or keeping your legs squeezed into thick socks all day can make circulation worse. These mistakes may seem small, but when they happen every day for years, they can weaken your legs much faster than you realize. But the good news is that the body can still respond very positively when you start giving it the right things. And one of the simplest changes many older adults are making today is switching the type of oil they use every day. The oil getting the most attention is extra virgin olive oil. What makes this oil different from many others is not just its healthy fats, but also the natural antioxidants it contains. These compounds help calm the silent inflammation inside the blood vessels, the kind that often causes artery walls to become stiffer and narrower over time. As inflammation goes down, blood vessels tend to become softer, more flexible, and better able to let blood flow through. That is why many people who use extra virgin olive oil regularly often notice that their feet feel warmer, their legs feel lighter, and walking becomes more comfortable. What is special is that olive oil does not just help the legs. It also supports the heart, the brain, and cholesterol levels throughout the body. It helps lower the type of cholesterol that is more likely to form plaque in the arteries, while supporting the good cholesterol that helps protect blood vessels. But there is something even more interesting that very few people know. When extra virgin olive oil is combined with chia seed oil, the circulation benefits may become even stronger. Chia seed oil is rich in plant-based omega-3s, a type of fat that may help reduce inflammation and help blood flow more smoothly. At the same time, olive oil helps protect blood vessel walls and keeps the arteries more flexible. Together, these two oils support both the blood itself and the pathways the blood travels through. That is why many older adults notice lighter legs, less numbness, and fewer leg cramps after using them consistently for a few weeks. The important thing is that this is not magic. But if you are looking for a simple change that is easy to start right in your own kitchen, this may be one of the best places to begin. Many people hear that a certain oil is good for circulation, but they do not really understand what is happening inside the body when they start using it every day. And once you understand that, you can see why a small change in the kitchen can sometimes make a big difference in your legs. When blood vessels become inflamed or stiff, blood has a harder time moving through them. The heart has to work harder to push blood down to the legs, but the amount of oxygen and nutrients reaching the feet, calves, and nerves is still not what it used to be. That is why the legs become colder, tire more easily, and feel numb more often. But when you start using healthier oils like extra virgin olive oil or chia seed oil, the body begins getting more beneficial fats and fewer inflammatory compounds. Over time, the inner lining of the blood vessels may begin to work better. This is a very thin layer inside the artery walls, but it plays an extremely important role. It helps blood vessels expand and contract at the right time, keeps blood flowing steadily, and helps prevent unnecessary blood clots. When this lining becomes healthier, blood can flow to the legs more easily. More oxygen and nutrients reach the muscles. The nerves in the legs are better nourished as well. As a result, many people begin to notice that their feet feel less cold in the morning, their legs feel less numb at night, and they can walk longer without feeling the same heaviness in their legs. Some people also notice they feel less dizzy when standing up, think more clearly, and have more energy during the day. That happens because circulation does not only affect the legs. When blood flows better, the brain gets more oxygen, the heart does not have to work as hard, and the body functions more efficiently. That is why improving circulation does not just make it easier to walk. It can also help you feel healthier, steadier, and more confident in everyday life. But even the best oil will not do much good if you use it the wrong way. Many people buy extra virgin olive oil because they hear it is good for the heart, but then they use it for high heat frying or use far too much in one day. When oil gets too hot, many of its beneficial compounds begin to break down. That means you are still using a healthy oil, but you are no longer getting the full benefits it could provide. The simplest way to use it is in the morning. You can start with 1 teaspoon of extra virgin olive oil. If you want even more support for circulation, you can add 1 teaspoon of chia seed oil as well. Some people like to mix these oils into a glass of warm water with a few drops of lemon. Others prefer to drizzle them over salad, steamed vegetables, or soup after cooking. The important thing is that you do not need a large amount. More is not always better. For most older adults, just 1 to 2 teaspoons a day is enough to create changes over time. You should also choose a high-quality oil. Look for bottles labeled extra virgin, cold-pressed, or unrefined. These types usually retain more nutrients and antioxidants. Also, store your oil in a cool place, away from direct sunlight, and keep the bottle tightly closed after using it. Light, heat, and air can all slowly reduce the quality of the oil. And remember, the difference does not come from using a lot for a few days. The difference comes from using it correctly, using it consistently, and making it part of your daily routine. Not every oil in your kitchen is helping your circulation. In fact, there are certain oils that can make your blood vessels more inflamed, stiffer, and more damaged over time, especially after age 60. One of the worst is reused frying oil. When oil is heated over and over again, especially at high temperatures, it creates harmful compounds and free radicals. These substances can damage the inner lining of the blood vessels and cause the arteries to lose their flexibility over time. That is why people who regularly eat fried restaurant food, fast food, or foods cooked in old oil are more likely to deal with heavy legs, high blood pressure, and higher cholesterol levels. Another problem is heavily refined vegetable oils. Many people see the words vegetable oil on a label and assume it must be a healthy choice. But many of these oils go through intense processing, bleaching, deodorizing, and refining at very high temperatures. That process removes almost all of the natural antioxidants and makes the oil more likely to promote inflammation. Oils that are very high in omega-6 are another thing to be careful with. The body still needs omega-6, but when omega-6 levels are too high and not balanced with omega-3, inflammation in the body can increase. And long-term inflammation is one of the main reasons circulation continues to get worse over time. You should also be careful with oils labeled light, heart-healthy, or cholesterol-free. Those phrases may sound reassuring, but sometimes they are just marketing. Just because an oil does not contain cholesterol does not mean it is good for your blood vessels. What matters more is how it was processed, whether it still contains natural nutrients, and how it affects inflammation in your body. Sometimes the thing damaging your blood vessels is not something you eat too much of. It is something you are using every single day without even questioning it. But there is one very important thing you need to remember. No oil, no matter how healthy it is, can fix every circulation problem on its own if the rest of your lifestyle stays the same. You do not need to change everything all at once, but you do need to give your body more than one reason to heal. For example, even a gentle 10 to 15-minute walk each day can make a big difference. When you walk, the muscles in your legs gently contract and act like a natural pump, helping move blood back to the heart more effectively. That is why many people notice that their legs feel lighter after walking, even if it is just a few laps around the house or yard. Drinking enough water is just as important. Many older adults do not drink enough water because they worry about having to use the bathroom more often. But when the body is dehydrated, the blood becomes thicker, and the heart has to work harder to move it through the body. Getting enough sleep is another thing people often overlook. During sleep, the body has time to repair tissues, balance hormones, and reduce inflammation. If you are not getting enough sleep, or if your sleep is interrupted night after night, inflammation in the body can increase, and blood vessels may not function as well. Cutting back on sugar and processed foods is also very important. High blood sugar does not just affect diabetes. It can also damage the inner lining of the blood vessels, making it harder for blood to flow to the legs, eyes, and brain. And finally, pay attention to your blood pressure and cholesterol. Many people only check them when they feel unwell. But sometimes high blood pressure and high cholesterol have been quietly damaging the blood vessels for years before obvious symptoms appear. There is no magic here. But when you combine the right oil with a few small daily habits, the body begins to respond. And sometimes, in just a few weeks, you may start to notice that your legs feel lighter, warmer, and stronger than before. Many people think cold feet, heavy legs, cramps, or numbness are simply a normal part of getting older. But the truth is that in many cases, these are your body's way of telling you that your circulation is no longer as strong as it used to be. And the good news is that you do not have to change everything all at once to start feeling better. Sometimes, simply switching to the right oil in your kitchen, drinking more water, walking a few extra minutes each day, and paying closer attention to the small signs in your legs can make a big difference. You do not have to wait until your legs hurt more, walking becomes harder, or you start losing confidence before you begin taking your circulation seriously. Your body can still recover, your blood vessels can still be supported, and your legs can still feel lighter and stronger if you start today. So, here is a small challenge for you. Over the next 14 days, try replacing the oil you currently use with extra virgin olive oil, or add chia seed oil to your morning routine. At the same time, try to walk for at least 10 to 15 minutes each day and drink more water than usual. After 2 weeks, pay attention to what changes. Do your feet still feel as cold as before? Does walking feel easier? Are you still waking up at night because of leg cramps? If you deal with cold feet, numbness, or heavy legs at the end of the day, share in the comments which symptom bothers you the most. And if you decide to try this 14-day challenge, come back and let everyone know how different you feel. Your experience may help someone else realize that it is not too late to take care of their legs and their health. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe so you do not miss future videos about heart health, circulation, and healthy aging.